Good evening, everyone. The time is now 7 p.m. I'd like to call the January 12th, 2026 regular council meeting into order. Ms. Capone, roll call, please.
Councilmember
Here.
Eastman,
Here.
Jablisco,
Here.
Miles,
Here.
Mojica,
Here.
Montestioka,
Here.
Newberry,
Here.
Parsons absent, Brooks.
Here. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Councilman Brown, can you please read the invocation?
President, thank you. Heads bowed. Father, as we meet today together, thank you for every seat that has been filled here today. For each mind and heart that fills the presence of this room, we thank you. Your righteousness transcends all of our efforts and understanding. Blessing this meeting tonight, all those present, as well as we live our lives for those we will consider and encounter afterwards. Ready us to make every moment count. Amen.
Amen. Ms. Capone, can you please read the open public meeting statement?
Notice of this meeting has been sent to the official newspapers. An adequate and electronic notice has been provided in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act as required by law.
Thank you. May I have a motion and a second to approve the December 8th, 2025 regular meeting minutes and the December 29th, 2025 special meeting minutes and the January 5th, 2026 reorganization meeting minutes?
I make a motion.
Jablisco?
I'll second.
Eastman? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Brown,
Yes.
Eastman,
Yes.
Jablisco,
Yes.
Miles,
Yes.
Mojica,
Yes.
Montestioka,
Yes.
Newberry,
Yes.
Parsons absent, Brooks.
Yes. Ms. Capone, do we have any reports from our council committees?
There are no reports.
Thank you so much. Do we have any communications from our city officers or bill payment?
You've received the payment of bills, police report, and the fire report for the month of December.
Thank you. Business Administrator Pukovich, are there any reports or updates from the admin?
The only thing we have to report this evening, Council President, is the SID budget will be adopted. Will be up for adoption.
Well, thank you very much. Okay. So I would now open a public hearing for the 2026 Special Improvement District budget. Citizens will have 5 minutes to speak and may only speak once. Please address all comments to the City Council. I'm sorry? Would you?
Mr. President, if we could just proceed to the ordinance and resolution summaries and then do the SID budget.
Okay, no problem. Okay, I'll correct the record on that, please. Okay. At this time, B.A. Pukovich will provide a summary of the ordinance and resolutions that are listed on the agenda. My apologies.
Thank you, Council President. The first ordinance, 0126, is tied to an approval that you guys did in December of last year. This is funding in the terminal pay for retired employees, and this gives us the funding mechanism to do so, and we'll be able to do so over a 5-year period, which will lessen the burden on our taxpayers. 0226 and 0326 are coupled together. As you know, previously, we made some adjustments to assist the residents at the Willows. These corresponding ordinances correct an error in the original ordinance on the part of Central Ave from Esterbrook to Maple Terrace. This will revert it back to the way it was previously while not impacting the section of Central Ave the Willows is on. The next two, 0426, 0526, these are for Essex and Johnson Street. If you remember, some folks from Riverwalk came to one of the meetings, has said they were having some problems with parking over there. This aims to help address those issues. On to resolutions. First is AR 1226, resolution authorizing a special emergency appropriation for terminal pay. This is coupled with the ordinance 0126. AR 1326 is housekeeping. It's the overpayment of water bills. AR 1426, as you know, we're going to celebrate the 250th anniversary of the nation this year, so we'll be having some ramped up events. One of those events will be the 4th of July celebration, and this is just authorizing the contract to get the fireworks. AR 1526 through AR 3026 are qualifying firms on an as and if needed basis. As you know, we do an open and fair process when firms submit their RFQs. There are two I would like to bring to your attention, though. First one being AR 2526. This resolution approves a professional service contract to Najarian and Associates. They are going to be helping us with the community rating system. As you're aware, the more points you get, the less expensive the premiums are on flood insurance, and this administration takes that very seriously. So just wanted to point that out to you. And then AR 2726 is a resolution approving a professional service for Special Litigation Counsel for affordable housing for the city of Rahway. As you know, Rahway is inherently affordable, but we are still going to look into the process of doing a housing element and an affordable housing plan. To do that, we needed to get an attorney, so that's what this does. Then down to the Health Department. This is, again, AR 3126 through AR 3426, our housekeeping, things that we need to do at the beginning of each year. First is an agreement with Boneratech, that is the software that the social worker uses to track their cases. Then we have a resolution awarding professional services for public health practice standards. That's something we do every year. We also have a resolution, it's with the New Jersey Medical School Global Tuberculosis Institute, again, something that we do each year. And lastly, we have a shared service agreement with Winfield for health officer services. On to engineering, we have a resolution designating an authorized representative to execute all New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection Works approval, permit, and Bureau of Water System engineering permit applications and endorsements as required by the state. The next is a resolution authorizing the execution of a professional service contract with TNM for professional land surveyor services and easement and exhibit preparation for cell carrier lease. AR 3726, this is needs a little bit of an explanation. So, as you know, the engineering department is requesting an authorization for a professional service contract. This is to update the city of Rahway's municipal separate storm sewer system, referred to as MS4. It's mapping. This work is required to comply with new and expanded New Jersey DEP MS4 permit requirements. Then we have AR 3826. This is shared service with the Township of Woodbridge for the maintenance of Brom Hall Road. As you know, the state encourages shared services. It saves the municipality some money, and it's a great example of collaboration with our neighbor. AR 3926, this is a professional service contract for underground utility locating, essentially the call before you dig. Then we have AR 4126, this is final payment and closeout order for release of performance bond. Again, that is some housekeeping. Then down to revenue and finance, we have a resolution authorizing the cancellation of tax billing, more housekeeping. Resolution authorizing the refund of money due to redemptions after a tax sale. The next is redemption of tax sale certificates for 2024 and 2025 tax liens. Again, these are all housekeeping. Authorizing the refund of overpayments of taxes for the city year 2025. Resolution authorizing the refund of payment of taxes due to the granting of a senior deduction for 2025. We also have a resolution authorizing the granting of a veteran's deduction. The Recreation Department is going to be applying for and accepting a grant for, this is the recreation improvement. These funds will be used for the new play equipment at Brennan Park. We also have two resolutions from the Special Improvement District on this evening. The first is authorizing a service agreement between the City of Rahway and the Rahway SID. As you know, the city provides administrative services to the SID. This allows that. The resolution granting permission for the Rahway Special Improvement District to hold the 2026 Taste of Spring. As you know, 2 years ago, the Taste of Spring took a bit of a makeover, and since then, it's been 75% of the businesses that are participating are local Rahway businesses, and we're really proud of that and looking forward to this year's event. And lastly, I have from Revenue and Finance a resolution authorizing the transfer of the 2025 budget appropriation reserves. In November and December, you can transfer the appropriations. This allows you to pay expenses that were incurred in 2025 and 2026. And that is all we have on the agenda.
Mr. Felkovich, thank you for the summary. Now, if I can go into the 2026 city budget, I will open up a public hearing for the 2026 Special Improvement District budget. Citizens will have 5 minutes to speak and may only speak once. Please address all comments to the City Council. Ms. Capone, has anybody signed up?
No one has signed up.
Okay. I'll clarify that for you. You don't have to, you can sign up ahead of time, but if you have any questions, you can approach the podium. The microphone's right there if you want to speak on this, on the SID. On this particular topic, yes, there'll be another opportunity for you to speak on any subject matter. Thank you. Okay. Well, seeing none, I will close the public hearing on the 2026 Special Improvement District budget. Ms. Capone, can you please read the title for Resolution AR 52-26?
A resolution adopting the City of Rahway calendar year 2026 Special Improvement District budget.
May I have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution AR 52-26?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Brown?
Yes.
Eastman?
Yes.
Jablisco?
Yes.
Miles?
Yes.
Mohica?
Yes.
Montes de Oca?
Yes.
Newberry?
Yes.
Parsons absent. Brooks?
Yes. All right, so this is the hearing of citizens portions of the meeting. Citizens will have 5 minutes to speak on resolutions and first reading ordinances listed on the agenda only. Second reading ordinance will have their own public hearing. The floor is open for public comment. You may only speak once and must address all comments to the City Council. While all comments made by the public will be taken under advisement, the City Council will not respond to comments made by the public at this portion, and it's an opportunity for the council to listen to the citizens' concerns and not debate issues or go into a back and forth session. Ms. Capone, has anybody signed up for this?
Yes. Alan Levy, 254 Oak Street.
Alan Levy, 254 Oak Street, Rahway, New Jersey. It is unfortunate that last week, the municipal council for the city of Rahway, Dave Mancello, made a very significant material misrepresentation on the topic that I spoke about regarding my and my wife's lawsuit in relation to the Rahway Community Voice Facebook social media group, where he repeatedly stated that the lawsuit had been dismissed. As you know, I emailed all of you to show you that that was a lie. It was a material misrepresentation. While my order to show cause seeking temporary restraints on that lawsuit was denied in October of 2024, the law firm of Renaud Coughlin Mancello moved to dismiss my lawsuit, and that was denied on February 18, 2026. Do you agree, Mr. Mancello? It could clear up the record. Nope, you won't do it. You know why? Because, let me ask, what do you get out of it? But more importantly, what does the city get out of it? That every time this law firm creates hostility and resentment and antagonism from the members of this community. Let me ask you this. Has that law firm ever said with an Oprah request, yeah, just turn it over, it's no big deal? No. Have they? Have they? You know why? They get to bill for every Oprah request that they say delay, deny it, we can keep it from being produced. My favorite one is the one that Andy requested just about a year ago, a 3-page janitorial contract with the library. A 3-page janitorial contract. In a functional environment, the clerk would have just handed it over. Oh, I'll make the photocopy for you. Here's 3 pages. It's a janitorial contract. But nope, they get to bill for reviewing it, delaying it. It's a document that's still being worked on. It's a 3-page janitorial contract. So what does the city get out of this? And who pays for those bills? the taxpayers of Rahway. I wonder that email that I sent to all of you that was responded to, I wonder how much that's going to be billed to the citizens of Rahway when all I was trying to do was clear up a simple record that that lawsuit was not dismissed. But the whole point is, again, for that law firm to represent the defendants in the RCV lawsuit and the city of Rahway is a brazen conflict of interest. Why? Because they filed and I'm not talking about our lawsuit. I'm talking about the second one, the counter lawsuit against my wife and I. And among the reasons they're suing us for malicious abuse of process, and what is our sin? Because we objected to the conflict of interest. And I'm going to read from the two allegations again. This is from their counterclaim. Plaintiffs are admitted critics of the city of Rahway, its mayor, and the law firm of renowned Coughlin Manchella. Plaintiffs routinely post comments on social media criticizing the city, its mayor, and this law firm. Last time I checked, criticizing public officials was a fundamental right protected by the First Amendment to the United States Constitution. Yet that is exactly what we are being sued for. Not defamation, not harassment, not interfering with the governance of the city.
1 minute warning.
Mere criticism. So I asked the members of the city council, are you happy and satisfied that the law firm that is supposed to be defending the interests of the city is countersuing two residents of the city for merely criticizing the city government? Are you okay with that? Is that the reputation Rahway wants? I certainly hope not. And now certainly we move to dismiss that countersuit and under the anti-SLAPP statute, which again, please tell Craig thank you for passing that statute. It's great. And we have an appeal pending. And I guarantee you a lot of civil liberties organizations are going to be taking our side on that. And is this city going to be on the opposite end of free speech? Is this city going to be on the opposite end of freedom of expression? Because the more you try to bully us, the more we are going to
5
stand
minutes.
up and speak. But thank you for giving me that opportunity.
Thank you, Mr.
to
Levy.
take a stand for
Thank you.
civil liberties.
Thank you.
Next is Ronald McCray, 840 East Hazelwood Avenue.
Good evening, Ron McCray, 840 East Hazelwood Avenue. And I just want to make clear, because I may not have been paying attention, that this first time is for the ordinance, or is it open for comments or on any item?
This is any item.
You can speak on any item.
Any item?
Yes, sir.
Well, let me start with this. Number one, and I'm requesting, okay, to know exactly where is there a rule or law to say only 5 minutes or you can only make comments, because the emphasis that you put on this really irritates the hell out of me. And I'm going to be honest with you, because it's almost like telling somebody you can only do this, but shut up and do this. So I'm asking right now, where is it written? And give me a copy of it later, or show me where I can find it. That's what's important. The other thing, too, is that, first of all, I would say this, as many say, well, Happy New Year. I say it's a happy new day, a new time, because somebody didn't wake up. I come here to address issues for this body to address. You are public servants. You have a responsibility to the public. I'm a taxpayer, voter, and yet each time I come, okay, for the most part as a whole, it's always ignored. I ask questions and never addressed. I will truly say, and not take away from Councilman Brown, a couple of times he did try to work with me with the police department. But outside of it, as a whole, this council as a whole ignores each and every time I come up with a concern. Not a Ron McCray concern, but a concern public issues that you address. So it tells me that you really only look after yourself. You ignore your duties and responsibility. And yet, when you open up, you say with life and liberty and justice. Where is the liberty and justice for all? Where is it? And when the council open up in prayer, who you praying for? What are you praying about? Because there's a contradiction to me, because you can't pray about harmony and peace and love and working together when in fact you don't. You do not. I can stand here and continue to go on with what's important, because even from the mayor or this council as a whole, to me, you neglected the most part of your responsibility that you took allegiance to. You swore in the Bible, you swore in public, you will uphold the rules and laws and Constitution. And those are facts. If you're not going to do it, then technically, in a lot of ways, you have, again, violated the responsibility. You have an oath, each and every single one of you. You've been elected by the people. You asked the people to vote for you because you wanted to do this for all of Rahway. If you don't address the concerns as a whole, or pull the people in to have an open public conversation to find out what are the real issues in the community. It seems like this agenda only addresses what you put together and not concerning as a whole for the public. You have 3 floating council members. I say that. What does it do to your responsibility? Tell me. I know, but tell me. Tell the public, what is your responsibility? If you don't get a report of what's happening in Rahway as a whole, then you're really ignoring public concern. You can't say, well, you only have 5 minutes, you can only speak once. God brought me here, and only God will take me out unless you, humanity, or somebody else take my life. Other than that, don't ever tell me I can only speak once and I only have 5 minutes unless you can show me, because I come here with respect. But when you ignore me and I'm coming here with respect to address the House with respect, then that tells me something. You want to control who I am and what I can say. That doesn't happen, and it's not going to happen.
Thank you. Ms. Capone, anybody else signed up?
No one else has signed up.
Okay. Now will be the opportunity for anybody else to approach the mic. To my left.
Hi, Amy Garcia Phillips, 1470 Campbell Street. Take out your pens. I've got a couple random topics. The first topic is I was wondering if we could get a traffic safety study on Campbell Street. There are 2 intersections, particularly at Elm and Esterbrook, where there have been a lot of accidents recently. It's a 2-way stop. I think people think it's a 4-way stop. Like we saw a couple really bad accidents, one with an e-bike, so maybe just better signage if that's needed, or making them 4-way stops. The second thing I wanted to talk about was this Sunday, Indivisible Rahway organized a rally and protest. Councilperson Miles was there, thank you very much. And it was protesting the illegal and dangerous activities of ICE. And I just want to encourage you all, there's more that we can do to protect our community members. And we'll be reaching out to all of you to meet in a more one-on-one situation. As you've mentioned, this is not an opportunity or a forum for conversation. And so we'd like to create those opportunities so we as a community can strategize on how we can work together and how we can protect our community. And the third thing I wanted to talk about was the Windows of Understanding program. So this is a public art project, so you will see the art popping up in some of our local establishments. The Windows of Understanding program pairs a social justice nonprofit with an artist, and the artist creates a unique piece of work that illustrates the mission and the vision of the nonprofit. That artwork is then placed in the window of a local business, creating a literal window of understanding. This program, this is the 3rd year it's in Rahway, and we're the only Union County municipality to do it right now, but it's been in Middlesex County for about 8 years. So in February, we'll be doing an art walk, an art crawl, where we'll go to each of the locations, and we'll hear from the nonprofits, and we'll hear from the artists, and then we'll have a reception at Holy Cow. So I hope that when that date is set, that you will join us for that. Councilman Brooks, you were there last year. I think you can attest to the fact that it was a beautiful, beautiful event. Mm-hmm. So just look out for them. The locations will be the Waiting Room, Holy Cow, Il Forno, and I forget the last one. And also United Way, thank you. And then also there will be a student exhibit at the Rahway Public Library of Rahway High School students. So I hope you'll participate. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anybody to, 1 second, sir. Anybody on this side? Okay, you may approach, sir. Yeah, okay, would you, okay, thank you, Mr. Mojica. Mr. Garcia Phillips, I'm going to ask if you can just sit down for a moment. I'm going to allow the young lady to approach, and you may go next. Thank you. Good evening. I would need you to say your full name and your address, and my apologies for missing your hand.
That's okay. My name is Athena Pappas. I live at 1472 Jefferson Avenue, Rahway, on the corner of Westfield Avenue. It's in Ward 5. Some of my neighbors couldn't make it tonight. Some of them have. But our corner on Jefferson Avenue and Westfield Avenue I've called and asked for traffic studies. No one ever replies. We had a lot of accidents there. 3 of them came up on the sidewalk. One of them hit my fence, knocked down a tree, knocked down signs. And we have no street lights on Jefferson Avenue. It's very dark at night, and it's very concerning, the amount of traffic that has built up. I understand you're building up the community, but I feel that there was not a plan to improve transportation and people's means of getting around. There is downtown Rahway, but other than that, people fly from Westfield Avenue, on Westfield Avenue, from Madison Avenue down to St. George's Avenue. People have been hit by cars, and it's very dangerous. I myself am handicapped. I'm afraid to cross the street because the way people just, I live right on the corner of Jefferson and Westfield Avenue. And if people park in front of my house, when my sister lived with me, she got hit 4 times in 3 years, hit and runs, that making right turns, hit her car, and kept going. And it's just getting worse. And at nighttime, like I said, there's only one street light, and it goes on and off. And it's very dark, and you know, you talk about affordability and stuff like that, but I don't feel like Rahway is affordable, and I don't feel like we're getting the services that our taxes should be affording us.
I'm sorry, can you just, I think the mic is off. Can you click on the mic? I think it got shut off.
You can reclaim your time once. Okay, yeah, I'm just going to ask you if you can move a little closer to the microphone.
Can you hear me now?
Lindsay?
Yes.
Now?
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
I don't want to get too close. Okay, so, yeah, that's something that I don't want to take up too much of your time, so I'll leave it at that for this evening. But I do have other concerns, but I want to free up the time for other people. I appreciate you listening to me. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, and thank you. You may approach, sir.
Andrew Garcia Phillips, 1470 Campbell Street. I want to follow up about the pilot deal that you gave to the property on New Brunswick Avenue last month. Specifically, I had mentioned a couple figures, one being that if you did nothing, that property would pay $10 million of taxes over the next 30 years. And Mr. Landolfi afterward expressed that he didn't understand where that number came from. They don't pay $10 million in the next 30 years. They will pay $3.8 million next year. He said I was wrong about the numbers or lying to you. And the truth is that both those numbers are true. And I think it's important to explain this because this is going to come up again. These pilot deals are going to come up again. And I think a way to understand this is with an extreme example. So Imagine you took Mr. Landolfi at his word that these pilot deals are so beneficial to the city, they raise more money for the city, and they have no impact on the school district. And so you decide, this sounds great, let's do this for every property owner in Rahway. We're gonna give every single property owner in Rahway a pilot deal for the 30 years instead of paying their taxes. And so they will, like all these pilot deals, they'll pay about half of what they normally pay, but 95% of that stays with the city rather than only 45% of that staying with the city. So the taxpayers pay half of what they used to pay. They're thrilled. The city is getting more income than it ever got before. It seems like a genius plan, a genius strategy. And let's say for whatever reason you decide the one person you're not going to give that deal to is the Garcia Phillips family. And that's fine. We can pay our property taxes. We live in a condo. It's only $8,000 a year, something like that. We're happy to pay that. But along comes the school district budget, and they say we need $50 million from local sources. And so that has to be paid by the people who are still in the pool of taxpayers that pay school district taxes. And so since you gave a pilot deal to everybody in the city, except for my family, when that $50 million request comes in, that gets put only on the one taxpayer left paying school district taxes. So suddenly my taxes go from $8,000 a year to $50 million and $8,000 a year. And obviously this is extreme, but this is what is happening every time you pass a pilot deal. You are slowly pushing more people out of the pool of people who pay school district taxes and shifting more of those expenses onto the people who are left still paying that. In the case of a lot of these buildings that you're doing, these are big tax deals. These are 100-unit complexes. These are warehouses. And so you're shifting more and more money onto, more and more strain onto taxpayers and less onto those developers. I think you can see through this example that this is a gimmick. We're not creating new money out of nowhere. These costs still have to be paid. You're just shifting them from one party to another. This works great if all you care about is the city budget. If you're in charge of making the city budget look good, then this works great. You look terrific. But slowly you're siphoning more costs onto the public, especially in the case of residential buildings that themselves create more need from the school district at the same time that they're not paying into it. We live in a town where we have low-income neighbors who are raising money to help support other low-income neighbors. In the meantime, we have a developer that comes in.
1 minute warning.
And is already going to make about $80 million off their development. They're already going to make that. And they come in and ask you to give them another $40 million break. So to me, that's immoral. To me, that's wrong. And what I'm asking you to do is stand up for our neighbors before those developers and say that their needs are important too. And that if people want to come in here and develop, they can do so on their own dime, not on the backs of our poor neighbors. And if they can't do that, then that's fine. Rahway is fine the way it is. I hope that you will take that into account next time a pilot deal comes up. So far that has not happened, and I hope this example helps you to understand. I'd be happy to take questions about this. Normally what happens is I sit down and someone calls me a liar and won't let me respond. But if you have any questions, please reach out. I'm happy to talk about it. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else that would like to approach the microphone? You may make your way, sir.
How you doing? Can you hear me? How you doing? Jimmy Vargas, 936 Westfield Avenue here in Rahway. Just want to add to what my neighbor Athena was saying about our street between St. George's, Jefferson, and Madison. I think this issue with everybody speeding, accidents, and everything that's happening. I've been a resident of Rahway 25 years now. And every year, roughly on that corner of Jefferson and Westfield, there's been numerous of accidents per year. But everything has started ever since the lighting has changed on the street. They went from, I don't know if you guys understand this, but high pressure sodium or metal halide, the amber bright lights, to fluorescent lights. I'm an electrician. And as soon as I seen these lights go up in half of your town, as soon as you get closer to City Hall, much brighter. Get away from City Hall, everything is super dark. On our street, you can't see. We walk our dogs at night. The only reason we walk with our dogs because we're afraid of either another animal coming out, jumping out, and pretty much either attacking our dogs, attacking us, vice versa. But I think the issue with the accidents, lighting, definitely lighting, especially going around between on Jefferson, going towards the hospital. As you go towards the hospital, everything gets brighter, but the fluorescent lights are horrible. You guys can even leave today and go whatever direction, you'll see them. They're green on top, whitish light, no lumens coming out of it. Lumens is how much intensity the light gives out. So you guys should at least understand that part, what I'm saying. And another thing about traffic assessment, I work out of New York City, originally from Jersey City. I drive every single day to the city. I get it about the traffic between 3 and 6 o'clock in that area, but we really should think about having a traffic assessment and maybe putting a light there. I see neighbors get hit, kids get hit. I've taken guys, actually helped guys out of flipped over pickup trucks, motorcycles, buses getting hit, buses hitting my guys on motorcycle, cars, I mean, you name it, I've seen it. 25 years that I've been living here, been here since 2000, and once in a blue, but the police puts either a car out there, there's no one in there, sometimes they're hiding in the corner, and people are speeding up and down left and right, and, you know, that's pretty much what I want to say. Really have to have an assessment there. And my kids are grown now, and there's a lot of kids walking from the middle school right down on our block. Anybody here can just stand there and count how many kids are walking down. So, very dangerous area, especially at night. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody to my right? Anybody to my left? Seeing none? Hi, good evening.
How are you?
Well, thank you.
Albertina Vargas. I'm from 936 Westfield Avenue, myself. And like my husband, I'm a 25-year resident here. And besides those lights, because of course, you've got a lot of our kids and students from the middle school, from the high schools that come from their after-school activities, and it's already getting dark after 4:30, and they're walking past our block, you know, at that time, and it's already dark for them. So as he said with those lights, there's times I'm walking my dogs and someone will be walking, and until you get underneath a light, you know, you don't even see that the person was coming or crossing. You just don't. You see the Amazon drivers getting out of their truck, you don't see them until they're underneath the person's patio, underneath a light, and notice that they even came out of their car. Another thing that concerns me, I have been mentioning through Facebook, asking why our street, Westfield Avenue, the sidewalks, I don't understand why those sidewalks have never been repaired, especially with our students walking through there every day. You've got people coming in, people from the town breaking little parts of the sidewalk, doing I don't know what, maybe something with the water, the pipes or something like that, and then they'll repair that one little spot, but then everything else is shifted all over. And when it's raining and stuff like that, there's huge puddles. The poor kids have to go into the street just to get away, from that puddle, to then get back onto the sidewalk, you know, a couple of feet away. And it's just been nothing but danger for them. And I don't understand why that doesn't get fixed. So I'm hoping somebody could do something about that. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you. Anybody to my right? Anybody to my left? Seeing none, I need a motion and a second to close the public hearing portion of the meeting.
So moved.
Newberry?
Second.
Montes de Oca. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Brown?
Yes.
Eastman?
Yes.
Jablisco?
Yes.
Miles?
Yes.
Mohica?
Yes.
Montes de Oca?
Yes.
Newberry?
Yes.
Parsons absent. Brooks?
Yes. Ms. Capone, please read ordinance O-01-26 by title.
An ordinance authorizing an emergency appropriation, NJSA 40A 4-53, funding of terminal pay for retired employees.
Do any council members have any questions or comments? May I have a mover and a second to introduce ordinance O-01-26?
I'll make the motion to introduce O-1-26.
Mohica? Eastman?
Second.
Eastman? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Brooks?
Yes.
Eastman?
Yes.
Jablisco?
Yes.
Miles?
Yes.
Mohica?
Yes.
Montes de Oca?
Yes.
Newberry?
Yes.
Parsons absent. Brooks?
I voted already. Yes. Ms. Capone, can you please read ordinance O-02-26 by title, please?
An ordinance amending Chapter 401 of the Code of the City of Rahway, Vehicles and Traffic, removing permit parking on portions of Central Avenue.
Do any council members have any questions or comments on ordinance O-02-26? If not, I'll make a motion. I'll have a motion. or
So
mover.
moved. So moved.
Thank you, Ms. Newberry.
Second.
Mr. Montes de Oca. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Brown?
Yes.
Eastman?
Yes.
Jablisco?
Yes.
Miles?
Yes.
Mohica?
Yes.
Montes de Oca?
Yes.
Newberry?
Yes.
Parsons absent. Brooks?
Ms. Capone, can you please read ordinance O-03-26 by title?
An ordinance amending Chapter 401 of the Code of the City of Rahway, Vehicles and Traffic, adding permit parking in designated areas on Central Avenue.
Do any council members have any questions or comments? Seeing none, may I have a mover and a second to introduce ordinance O-03-26?
So moved.
Second.
Newberry, Eastman. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Brown?
Yes.
Eastman?
Yes.
Jablisco?
Yes.
Miles?
Yes.
Mohica?
Yes.
Montes de Oca?
Yes.
Newberry?
Yes.
Parsons absent. Brooks?
Yes. Ms. Capone, please read ordinance O-04-26 by title.
An ordinance amending Chapter 401 of the Code of the City of Rahway, Vehicles and Traffic, handicap parking on Campbell Street.
Do any council members have any questions or comments? Seeing none, may I have a mover and a second to introduce ordinance O-04-26?
So moved.
Newberry?
Second.
Jablisco. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Brown?
Yes.
Eastman?
Yes.
Jablisco?
Yes.
Miles?
Yes.
Mohica?
Yes.
Montes de Oca?
Yes.
Newberry?
Yes.
Parsons absent. Brooks?
Yes. Ms. Capone, please read ordinance O-05-26 by title.
An ordinance amending Chapter 401 of the Code of the City of Rahway, Vehicles and Traffic, adding permit parking in designated areas on Essex Street and Johnson Street.
Do any council members have any questions or comments?
Council President,
Councilman Brown?
I'd like to speak on this.
You may.
And the reason why I want to speak on it is because I worked on this with the parking authority and with the city for over 1 year, back and forth of finding out who's at fault of doing this. And the reason what it was that in that area, the parking authority and also with the city is who's responsible. And I finally got them to come to the city for the meeting and speak with the administration. And you can see after 1 year, it has been resolved. And let me tell you, these things do take time, but the administration worked through it and got it done, because that property there is owned by different people. It's the same thing when they tell you about the streets with the DPW paving parts of that street. Some have the responsibility to the owner, and some has to the city. And the city does their part, and the owner of that has to do his part. But what you have to do is be consistent to come in and to work with the administration. When I hear people talk about traffic and things like that, it gets me to the point of saying, listen, come in and talk to the police department and see what they do, and they'll help you out. We shouldn't have to have things where it says, you know, the street, there's no lights. You know, when someone tells me no lights, the city is not responsible for light. Where's public service? Are they the ones that put the lights up? So those should be the people we should be going after to do something. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Councilman Brown. Anybody else? Any comments or questions? May I have a mover and a second to introduce ordinance O-06-26?
05.
Apologies, 05-26.
I move, Council President.
Second.
Brown, Montes de Oca. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Brown?
Yes.
Eastman?
Yes.
Jablisco?
Yes.
Miles?
Yes.
Mohica?
Yes.
Montes de Oca?
Yes.
Newberry?
Yes.
Parsons absent. Brooks?
Yes. Ms. Capone, please now read ordinance O-06-26 by title.
An ordinance amending Chapter 401 of the Code of the City of Rahway, Vehicles and Traffic, removing permit parking in designated areas on Essex Street and Johnson Street.
Do any council members have any questions or comments?
I'd like to say on that,
Councilman Brown?
yeah,
You may.
on that, that's what we've done, is to have it removed, and it is. Thank you, Council President,
Thank you, sir.
and I'd like to move it.
Brown?
Second.
Miles? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Brown?
Yes.
Eastman?
Yes.
Jablisco?
Yes.
Miles?
Yes.
Mohica?
Yes.
Montes de Oca?
Yes.
Newberry?
Yes.
Parsons absent. Brooks?
Yes.
Ordinances O-01-26 through O-6-26 are deemed adopted on first reading and will come up for public hearing and final adoption on February 2nd, 2026 at 7 p.m.
Thank you, Ms. Capone. Now, before I go into the consent agenda, I'm going to have our legal counsel, Mr. Marcello, speak on some of the items that were discussed earlier in public comment, if you may, sir.
Thank you, Council President. Yeah, I'd like to take this opportunity just to address a few of the questions and concerns that were raised. I think I'll work backwards. Apologies. There was some questions and concerns regarding pilot agreements, and I guess the comment was made about the specter of having every property in Rahway being part of having a pilot agreement. And I understand that was hypothetical that was offered by the speaker, but I assure you that could never be the case, and here's why. Pilot agreements, just as a little bit of background, are the only tool given to municipalities to incentivize economic revitalization. It's the only tool that the state really gives you to do this. And before you can even contemplate a pilot, the area has to be reviewed to determine whether or not it's an area in need of rehabilitation or redevelopment. That's a whole process. That goes to your planning board. The planning board has to employ professionals to review it, and there are statutory requirements that need to be met. Only in that circumstance where it meets all the criteria, it comes back to this body for a designation of an area in need of redevelopment. So it could never be every property. It has to meet a specific statutory criteria. Then, before any pilot agreement can even be considered, it's reviewed by professionals who look at the actual financials to see, will this particular redevelopment, will it pencil out? Is it economically possible? And those professionals then do their analysis, which is then given to the administration and given to the governing body before there's a decision made on whether or not to give a pilot agreement. There's also this sense when talking about pilots, many of those who are detractors, that you're looking at it and saying, well, what I would have gotten through conventional taxes and what I get in the pilot. But the reality, many of these properties, being that they are an area in need of redevelopment, are either vacant lots or they're buildings that where we don't derive much taxes at all. So it's really not fair to look at it and say, well, what do we get versus in conventional taxes versus what do we get in a pilot agreement? So I just want to sort of kind of give a broader sense of what we're looking at when we talk about pilot agreements. It's very easy to take shots at it as a program, but it's really a tool used across the state by municipalities to help revitalize the city. There was a question raised about the 5-minute rule. Every municipality in the state of New Jersey has a timing rule. Doesn't have to be 5 minutes. Many municipalities have a 3-minute rule. And so that rule is set by this governing body and then is enforced by the presiding officer, the council president, and our clerk. So I guess the question was raised, where does that come from? That is a rule that this body makes, and then it is up to that body to enforce it for the benefit of all the residents. Finally, Mr. Levy, I just want to start and thank Mr. Levy this evening for not screaming at me as he did in the prior meeting. I appreciate you for doing so, but the night is still young. Mr. Levy, once again, is coming to you to discuss a case involving a private entity, not the city of Rahway. The only reason why he's here is that my law firm represents that private entity. Newsflash for everyone involved, law firms represent more than one client. There is no conflict in doing that, and we represent a private entity in a lawsuit in which Mr. Levy has brought suit, and we have counterclaims. We will always zealously advocate for any client that we represent. And as for the specifics of that lawsuit, I have provided some information to the governing body. Mr. Levy's aware of that, and I don't wish to speak on it. I don't want to waste everyone's time by going into it in more detail. Finally, there was Mr. Levy also raised the issue regarding Oprah and a draft contract which was not provided. The law is very clear. Draft agreements are not operable. Final agreements are operable. So I'm only based on the information they provided tonight. There is in no circumstance would a municipality give a draft agreement. It would cause confusion, but once the agreement is finalized and signed by all parties, that becomes an operable document. I assume that was what was the case here. Thank you, Council President, for the opportunity to address these questions.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for taking the time. Now we'll go to consent agenda, resolutions AR-12-26 through AR-28 through 26 and AR-30 to 26 through AR-51-26 will be adopted as one motion on consent agenda. Do any council members wish to remove a resolution from the consent agenda?
President, I'd like to remove AR-24-26 and vote on it separately, please.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else? Ms. Capone, you have a note of that?
I'm sorry?
You have a note of that?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so can you repeat that one more time? I'm going to just AR.
24.
25-26.
25 or 24?
I mean, sorry, 24-26.
24-26. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and revise that. So may I make a motion and a second to adopt the consent agenda as previously read with the exception of AR-24-26?
So moved.
Second.
Newberry, Eastman. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Brown?
Yes.
Eastman?
Yes.
Jablisco?
Yes.
Miles?
Yes.
Mohica?
Yes.
Montestioka?
Yes.
Newberry?
Yes.
Parsons absent. Brooks?
Yes.
Okay, I will now read the title of Resolution AR-24-26, a resolution approving professional service contract to USA Architects LTD for professional architect services for the city of Rahway.
Thank you, Ms. Capone. May I have a motion and second?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Brown?
Yes.
Eastman?
Yes.
Jablisco?
Yes.
Miles?
Yes.
Mohica?
Abstain.
Montestioka?
Yes.
Newberry?
Yes.
Parsons absent. Brooks?
Yes. All right, so ordinance on second reading. There are no ordinance on second reading for tonight. To understand, there's no miscellaneous business for tonight as well. I guess we'll jump into the skinny, and I'll ask some of my council members if they'd like to make a closing comment. I'll start with our friend, first floor council member, Al Montestioka.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening, everybody. Happy New Year's to all. First time we see each other. This is more towards Mr. Ronald McCray. I was hoping you gave me a chance to tell you what I was going to do last week before you were highly upset up here, but hopefully this gives you some leniency in regards to how you feel frustrated with us, stating we don't answer questions to the public. So I have in front of me a City of Rahway police report. This police report says as following. Below is a chronological data-only timeline of traffic studies, enforcement activities, and related actions conducted by Rahway Police Department concerning East Hazelwood Avenue and West Hazelwood Avenue. This is a summary, is intentionally factual and concise. This is going to cover a length of a 4-year span, so please bear with me a little bit. Not that long, but just FYI. From September 2021 to August 2023, long-term speed and volume monitoring conducted on East Hazelwood Avenue. Average vehicle speeds consistently measures in the mid to high 20 range. 85th percentile speed generally range from approximately 31 to 33 miles per hour. Data established baseline conditions and showed consistent traffic patterns over time. On August 17, 2023, conclusions of long-term baseline monitoring period of East Hazelwood Avenue, no significant deviation from historical speed trends identified. September 11th, 2023. Pavement stripping and lane width adjustments planned proposed for East Hazelwood Avenue in coordination with our engineering. Stripping intended to visually narrow lanes and reinforce compliance with the posted 25-mile-an-hour speed limit. October 4th through October 10th, 2023. A JAMAR radar traffic study conducted on East Hazelwood Avenue. Total vehicle analyzed, approximately 59,000 vehicles. Average speed approximately 30 miles an hour. Enforceable violations during posted enforcement window, 0%. Enforcement rating, low. No directed enforcement recommended based on data at that time. August 18, 2023 to September 10, 2024. Continuous long-term speed and volume monitoring conducted on East Hazelwood Avenue. Total vehicles recorded, over 1.4 million vehicles. Average speed, approximately 28 miles per hour. Just bear with me a little bit more, it won't be that long. That was 85th percentile speed, approximately at 33 miles per hour. Over 99% of the vehicles traveled at or below 40 miles per hour. Data confirmed consistency with prior years and identified intermittent high-speed outliers rather than sustained speeding. November 13th through December 1st, 2024. Directed traffic enforcement operation conducted on East Hazelwood Ave. Enforcement deployed by Traffic Bureau during weekdays and patrol divisions during evenings and weekends. Enforcement resulted in numerous motor vehicle stops and summonses for speed over Title 39 violations. Enforcement times varied by day and hours to address peak traffic periods. June 24th to July 1st, 2025. JAMAR radar traffic study conducted on East Hazelwood Ave near Bryant Street. Total vehicles analyzed, approximately 36,000. An average speed approximately of 25 miles an hour. Enforceable violation approximately 3%. Enforcement rating, low. No additional enforcement recommended based on these studies. And in additional actions, they've had in-person meeting with you, Mr. McCray, to review traffic data and enforcement methodology. Ride-along opportunities offered to observe traffic enforcement and operations firsthand with you. And coordination is ongoing with our county officials regarding a proposed update stripping plan for Hazelwood Ave is still in motion. So just to give you a little bit of what you asked for last week, hopefully that gives you some sort of answers of what you're looking for. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Second Ward Council Woman Darlene Eastman.
Thank you, Council President. I just want to thank everyone for coming out and bringing your issues and your concerns to us, because we as council don't always know these issues, and now that you brought it to our attention, we will address them. But thank you for that, and have a good evening.
Thank you. I'm going to go to our Fourth Ward Councilman, Mr. Dave Brown.
President, I'd like to say that I appreciate the councilman of the Fourth Ward giving the information on what's happening. The police department directing it to a resident of the Fourth Ward that's with me is Mr. McCray. You know, you get the information and you're able to look and say, this is what it is. You know what? Being the councilman of the Fourth Ward, when someone says, you know, the speed limit is this, it's that, no one's out there every day looking at a car because it went 40 miles an hour. That's the one that I want to get. That's what someone would say. But what we're going to do and continue to do here in the city of Rahway is work together with the administration to make things better. I think that we as council people are looking to do things to make things better for the residents here in the city of Rahway. And if you have a concern, come see the councilman in that area, and I'm quite sure that they'll direct you to the proper people to look at it and see an investigation to have it corrected. It's going to take some time, but it can be corrected.
Thank you, sir. Fifth Ward, Council Member Danny Newberry.
Just echo the words of Councilwoman from the Second Ward. Thank you so much for coming out this evening. And if you have a moment to stay after, appreciate that. We'll have a conversation.
Thank you. Sixth Ward, Council Member Joseph Jablisco.
Ditto, just what you said, but just want to thank everyone for coming out like they always do and saying what they have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Councilwoman at Large, Ms. Joanna Miles.
Thank you, Council President. I just want to thank everyone for coming out. And I do want to touch on what Mr. McCray was saying about speeding. I know it's frustrating, and I know that you've spoken to pretty much everybody on council about the different issues. And I know throughout the years, we've looked at the sticky things that go on the street so that drivers drive over them, and it creates noise, but it's meant to make drivers slow down. But one issue was the fact that they create noise when people drive over them, and that's an issue that other residents might complain about. One thing we've talked about in the past is speed bumps, and whether the DPW trucks are actually able to use the speed, like go over speed bumps with the snow plows and things like that. That was something that's come up and we've discussed in the past. But as council, I know Councilman Montes de Oca is looking into it as well at the moment. But we'll continue to try looking at different ways. We haven't just ignored you, but we have been asking questions and we have put different suggestions forward, and we will continue to do so on the issue of speeding on East Hazelwood. Council President, I believe you're going to talk about this weekend. Are you?
No.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about this weekend. This weekend is the Rahway Martin Luther King Jr. weekend celebration. So I just want to touch on things that's on the poster, which is on the city Facebook page and most likely on the website too. This Saturday at 1 p.m. there's an MLK Basketball Classic varsity high school basketball game. It's New Brunswick versus Rahway. Go Rahway. Rahway High School, that's at the high school. On Sunday, January 18th at 3 p.m. I haven't got my glasses on, but this is an iPad, so there we go. There is a service at Second Baptist Church on East Milton Avenue. On Monday, January 19th, there's an MLK celebration service at 10 a.m. at Second Baptist Church. I will say that's my church, and we have a newish pastor. He's been there a year, so if you haven't met him, come out. He's a great speaker. So I invite you to my church. There's also a march for after the service on Monday. There's a march to the MLK Park at 11 a.m. where there's ribbon cutting and laying of the wreath at the MLK Park on Broad Street, just behind the train station. And then there's a brunch. There's food at 12:30 at the Rahway Rec Centre. If you haven't done the Martin Luther King March in Rahway, I really recommend it. I've pretty much, apart from want to say 1 year, I haven't done it since I've lived here, and it's really nice to get together, start with the service, and walk through Rahway and end with community. Thank you. That's all, Council President.
Thank you, Councilwoman. And there's two reasons why I opted for you to read that. One, so you can plug your church, your incredible church that you're a member of, and two, because you have a much more sophisticated and distinguished reading voice than I do. So, Councilman at Large, Council Vice President Jeremy Mojica.
Thank you, Council President. Good job today. Thank you for running a smooth meeting. Happy New Year to everybody. And I just want to speak about oath of office. I know that Mr. McCray mentioned something regarding our oath of office and not taking it seriously. I believe that everyone here takes their oath of office seriously. We're here every time to take on the citizens, what they have to say, and analyze what's being said, and we take that to the administration and we work together to try to find a solution. Not all the time you're going to get the best result, but know that we're here working for you, and we continuously do that. Just because something is looking like a resolution, we'll keep going at it and keep fighting for it. We're talking about public safety here, being safe on the roads, the drivers, the motorists, the population increase. Heck, the other day I witnessed an accident myself, and I emailed the situation to our administration, and they're looking into it. We're constantly looking into it. So that oath that we do take at the beginning of our tenure here is taken extremely seriously, and I've never seen anyone waver from that oath at all. Thankfully, Rahway does have some extremely professional individuals. Speaking about professionalism, I'm going to take it to the other end where every meeting we discuss information, misinformation from the audience, particularly from one member who I'll not name, but the individual likes to get a rise out of his peers in the audience. He goes ahead and gets everyone riled up to believe that what he's saying is the truth. And it can't be farther than the truth. We have great professionals up here who can iron out all the details and who aren't afraid to engage and speak about those details based on the questions that you may or may not have. In fact, sometimes I feel that we give them a lot of information, so much so that it can be confusing. But that's the professional conversation. You come to us to represent you, and we go to our administration to ask and inquire on your behalf. And that's what we're here to do, and that's what we're going to continue to do for you. So make no mistake that the information that you hear up here is accurate, and it's well thought out. And if you're looking for a standing ovation as a citizen because you seem like you gave the right information, well, I'm here to tell you that the professionals seem to feel otherwise. That couldn't be farther from the truth. So thank you, everybody. It's brave to come up and speak. It's not everyone's a speaker, but thank you for airing out the situations that you may be encountering, and we will always do our best to find out what the matter is and to find a solution for you. Thank you, Council President. It's all yours.
Thank you, Vice President Mojica. And I do want to echo one thing you mentioned, and it's not easy to get up and voice your questions or concerns. So I want to thank the public for coming out, both new guests and regulars, for voicing any comments or concerns. But I also want to say that us council members, we are your neighbors, and we are very accessible. Our phone numbers are public, and unfortunately, some of our addresses are public as well. We all can be reached, and yes, I think everybody here works a regular job, but we speak to people, both in our free time, after the meetings, and one thing I can tell you, at least for me, I don't put time limits on my conversations with people. I know people in the audience who come here regularly can even attest that I will sit and meet with you. And I know it's the same with my council colleagues as well. But we all have, responsibilities and things that we have to attend to. We all have our own families, but we care about your concerns, and we take this position seriously. So I just want to say that we're accessible. Our phone numbers are public. You can call us. We'll talk to you. The Garden of Ink and New Ink Association, I want to congratulate them. Earlier today, before the council meeting, we held a proclamation reading to our door decoration contest winners. This is an art city, so it's always great to see people participating, and it's always great to see Rahway Chamber of Commerce step up as well and provide their gifts. So that was great. I really enjoyed seeing that earlier. I want to give a few thank yous. I want to give a thank you to our city for their efforts on affordable housing and partnering to make sure that we have as much affordable housing as possible. Now, I know it's rough out there. You know, we can always say that we're doing our part to provide opportunities and housing. So anything I say in regards to that might not ease the burden for certain people. And I understand that. It is rough out there. But I can tell you that the city does everything they can to try to provide as much relief as possible. They're always looking into it. And I wouldn't give them a lot of credit for that. I also give them credit for the utilization of shared services. That's smart government right now. We're not getting much support from the federal government, so it's going to take competent governments from different parts of the state, your neighboring municipalities, to partner up and provide services. So thank you for that. I also want to thank our unsung heroes. We love to talk about our police officers, our fire department, but I don't think we speak enough about our crossing guards. And I think this past year we may have lost a few. So rest in peace to those individuals. But we do appreciate the sacrifice that they provide, getting up every single day to cross our children safely across the street. So big shout out to the crossing guards. And lastly, before I even came to the meeting, I did get an email from one of our constituents who spoke about protests that took place recently. And it was a very kind and complimentary email towards our Rahway Police Department. And I want to echo those sentiments to say thank you to our police department for making us proud in regards to how they handle free speech and public protests. You know, there's enforcement agencies throughout our country, unfortunately, who are behaving in the absolute worst ways. They're making the citizens and the public very frightened. However, our department has been a model for free speech and public safety. So I can speak for the rest of the council to say that we're very proud of your conduct, and I hope that other agencies look to Rahway as a shining example of how you treat your citizens and the public. And with that being said, I'm going to ask for a motion and a second to close tonight's meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Newberry, Montessioka,
Second.
adjourn. All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.